Good morning. All right, so since I'm not here, we're going to go ahead and move forward, and we're just going to do one story problem. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Now, what we're doing today is we are solving 3x3 story problems. So same type of stuff we've been doing, you solve it exactly the same. So you need to be able to set up the system of equations, define your variables, and solve the system of equations and find the solution to the problems. So here's the problem. Read through it. So Devin, Amelia, and Tate went to a candy store. Devin bought 1 pound of gummy bears, 1 pound of jelly beans, and 1 pound of chocolate peanuts. Amelia bought 2 pounds of gummy bears, 2 pounds of jelly beans. Tate bought 1 pound of jelly beans and 2 pounds of chocolate peanuts. Devin spent $13.50. Amelia spent $14, and Tate spent $16. The question is, how much did each candy cost per pound? All right, so right there, we are trying to compare how much each person bought with the money spent. So the very first thing I do, once I do this, is I look at Devin. She bought 1 of each. So make sense of the problem and define your variables. I'm trying to find out how much each pound cost. So I need to let, and you can use whatever variable you want, let G be the cost. I'm sorry, not the cost. Let G be the number of pounds. Sorry. Let me say this one more time. Let G equal the cost of 1 pound of gummy bears. Sorry for the confusion there. So the other one, we had jelly beans, so I will use J, and that is the cost of jelly beans. So when you're defining your variables, well, I know that Devin bought 1 pound of each one, and I'm trying to figure out how much they cost. And let C equal the chocolate covered peanuts. Chocolate peanuts. So the question helps you define your variables. How much does a pound of each one cost? We'll let G be the cost of gummy bears, J is the cost of jelly beans, and C is the cost of chocolate peanuts. You have to do this in every single one first. Now that's one of the most important steps. Well, now let's organize our data and set up our system. So if we go back and we look at this, so Devin had 1 pound of gummy bears, 1 pound of jelly beans, and 1 pound of chocolate peanuts, and she ended up spending $13.50. So Devin, she had 1 pound of gummy bears, plus 1 pound of jelly beans, plus 1 pound of chocolate covered peanuts, and she spent $13.50. Well, let's look at the next one. The next one is Amelia, and she bought 2 pounds of gummy bears and 2 pounds of jelly beans, and she spent $14. 2 pounds of gummy bears, 2 pounds of jelly beans. So 2 pounds of gummy bears plus 2 pounds of jelly beans, and she spent $14. Again, I'm leaving this blank. I could write a plus 0C, but I don't really need it. She bought no chocolate covered peanuts. Now the last one, let's look at Tate. So Tate bought 1 pound of jelly beans, 2 pounds of chocolate peanuts, and he spent $16. So 1 pound of jelly beans plus 2 pounds of chocolate covered peanuts, and he spent $16. So that's our system of equations. Now, we're going to take all of this information No, I missed some of it. I'm going to take all of that information and now I'm going to solve it. So let's make sure we've got this right. So he had 1 pound of jelly beans and 2 pounds chocolate. All right, so here's the system. Now we did this just yesterday in class, but I'm going to do red. So if I'm looking at this, I know that this one already does not have a G. So there's 0 G's. So in other words, I can easily cancel out my G's with these two equations. So my first one would be 1J plus 2C equals $16, and I can just write 16. With these first two equations, I can cancel out my G's. So I'm going to drag these two down. And now remember, I want to cancel out the G's. This equation does not have a G, so I need to get a set of opposite coefficients. So if I multiply the top by -2, gives me -2G minus 2J minus 2C equals -27. Lightly cross it out. Once I have opposites, I can add. And wow, right away, I canceled that out also. So divide by -2, and I find that my cost, chocolate covered peanuts, is $6.50. In this example, I can plug that in right here. So 2 times 650 is 13. And I get, that J, 1 pound of jelly beans, is $3. Now, once I have two of the variables, all I have to do is plug it back in. Remember, I'm trying to find G, so whichever one you think is easiest, I can plug it into the top one, the middle one. I can't plug it into the bottom because that already had 0 G's. So I will plug it into the top, and let's do that. So 1G, and I'll use pink here, 1G plus 1J, which is 3, plus 1 pound of chocolate covered peanuts equals $13.50. 1G plus 3 plus 650 equals $13.50. So G plus 950 equals $13.50. Subtract 950, and G is $4.50. I'm sorry, $4. $4, not in 50 cents. Now, we have been writing them as an ordered triple, but I don't want to do that in a real world situation. Instead, I would much rather just answer the question. So again, the question was, how much is it for each pound of candy? So I would say jelly beans cost $3. Let me go ahead and erase this here. I would say gummy bears cost $4, and again, that's a price per pound. And chocolate peanuts, which are personally my favorite, cost $6.50 per pound. And that's what I mean by answer the question. So the math is exactly the same. You just have to set up your equation. That's it. So tonight on your homework, you just have a couple story problems, and that's it, okay? you have any questions, feel free to email me or I will answer them in class tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.